We're going to take a 12-day trip to the back country of Colorado as we loop around through the mountains. Going to catch a few trout and brush up on our backwoodsman skills as we go back and forth between pro rodeos. There's a lot of ups and downs this week, and we're going to go over some of the mistakes that were made until we eventually got into the money. We packed in a light load of food in hopes of catching a limit of brook trout, and we did just that. There was a couple different ways we wanted to try them, and I tried Mexican tortilla soup, and then I tried the foil trick where we put the lemons inside and a little bit of butter. There was two ways I was going to do it. I was going to chop some into the soup and have some straight off the bone. Well, they turned out good, and I'll show you just what we did. I chopped these trout into this tortilla soup and it turned out excellent. It was a little thin for the chopsticks that I made, but the rest turned out great and made a good dinner for two served up on the tins at camp. The next morning was spent breaking camp as we headed to Steamboat Springs. We had another rodeo to make. Things didn't quite go as planned when we got there.
Need your help.
I made two major mistakes and I knew better. I rode too short a stirrup and I held onto the saddle horn for one stride too long, causing my feet to get twisted upon landing. That right there is what lands me down on my side, and I have to reset and get back up and throw him again. That run's over. Leave it in the dirt. Headed back up the mountain to think things over and get back to camp. I realized we need a spatula. That was one thing I forgot to pack. But there's plenty of stuff growing around there to be able to make tools from, so that's what we're going to do here. This is an easy breakfast item you can put in the pan. We mixed it in a water bottle in a pre-made batter mix. With a blueberry flavor, it can be hard to regulate the temperatures on the coals, so you got to work the pans around until you get a fine cake to flip. And it worked out great. After breakfast, it's time to head off the mountain. We got to get to Estes Park, run our first steer of the week. As hard as it is for me to show this, it needs addressed. Mistakes were made. I missed his nose right here and he ran a circle around behind me. Don't ever make the same mistakes twice, and that's what I'm thinking about the whole time I'm headed back up the mountain to get camp started all over again. The coffee's hot and we settle for chicken noodle soup. We break camp the next morning and it's a tough hike out. We've got to run our second steer at Estes Park before we end the trip. It's the last flip for all the chips.
Another mile and a half to go.
On the last run of the last rodeo, we finally slide one down for the money, placing the round with a 5-1, and we won't go home empty-handed. We had a good time this week, and we brushed up on our bushman skills. We improved on the bulldogging, and we're headed home, and it's been a good week.